Hi, my name is Karen Wambui, a Danida Fellow and a Youth Sounding Board member of Denmark in Kenya Embassy. One of the biggest success stories with me is the connections and the partnerships that we're able to create, courtesy via the Danida Fellowship Center, where Kenyans were able to meet with other Africans from different parts of Africa and be able to collaborate on the different works that we're doing on SDGs. And a good example is the YouLead Summit, where we were able to do a collaboration on a panel, and we were able to kind of do capacity building on the masses and talk about what our experience was and how young people can be able to leverage on the information and knowledge on sustainable development goals to be able to achieve their outputs in work. I tend to think that my journey with the SDG village in the beginning, initially, because I was working in something totally different, was more of impromptu but interesting, because I think in the previous editions it was a bit more of a shock for me to see an event like People Dialogues Festival, you know, being held in Kenya. I think at first I was like, is this Kenya? And then later on, being given the chance to kind of interact with the knowledge and with the conversations that were going on in the space then and consecutively later, I've been able to learn that the little knowledge that you have on sustainable development goal is not enough if you're not in a space where you're consistently, you know, challenged or expanded. So one of the biggest impact of attending PDF has been the consistent capacity building on the knowledge that I have on sustainable development goals in different areas. Being that I hosted this year's stakeholder discussion in the Youth Danish Embassy tent hosted by the Royal Danish Embassy in Kenya, I learned that the tent was an easy place for people to interact, to hold discussions, and to actually have an easy experiential learning on what sustainable development goals is in this sector. And for us this year, we were working on SDG 13, that is climate action. And one of the biggest things that we wanted to do was to work on waste management vis-a-vis climate action. And we were able to bring knowledge in bite-sized information where even someone who hasn't had like education in the formal way was able to interact with that knowledge and give us output and tell us what they have learned and how they can implement it in their workway routine. We're also able to give them information and capacity building on how they can enhance their work in that sector. One of the biggest things I'm also looking forward to implement as an individual is I'm very big on trying to teach what sustainable development goals is on correlation to the sector or the work that individually we might all be doing or working on. So for instance, I work in the election and governance sector. So once in a while when I have the time, I kind of also tend to capacity build in our office and explain what sustainable development goals means in correlation to the work that we are doing in elections. So that ensures that we have a whole lens of inclusion, equality, and accessibility of the information that might not have previously been there.